He is a nationally known, award-winning speaker, realtor and author of Screen-to-Screen Selling. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Doug Devitre.
Today we make history. Did you know that the Citrus Valley Association of Realtors is the first real estate organization to program Amazon Alexa for their conference? Big round of applause. And so if you want to be able to access the Amazon Alexa skill, if you have a handout, if you don't have one of these, we can give you one in the back, but it's we give you the link to be able to enable it. You can start to ask it specific questions. So I'm just going to give you a little sample of what it's like so you can experience from being able to call it out. Alexa, open Revive Conference.
Hello there and welcome to Revive Conference. I can answer all your FAQs related to Revive Conference. You can say help to get some questions which you can ask me.
Who is Mark Epstein?
Mark is one sexy mofo. He's a hot piece of brain candy who knows how to push my buttons, especially when it comes to programming the Real Estate Revive Conference. Would everyone please help me by standing on your feet, clap your hands with authority, and give a screaming round of applause for Mark Epstein, the CEO of the Citrus Valley Association of Realtors. Do you have any other question?
Where is happy hour?
Many places within walking distance, including the Doghouse Biergarten, Brio Tuscan Grill, the Yard House and Cheesecake Factory. Do you have any other question?
Alexa, quit. So it's not just one individual, but it's an entire team that puts this event on. Please give them a round of applause. This isn't a conference, this is a production. And it just kind of blows me away. And the fact that this is the first one, I think we're going to start to see other types of Amazon Alexa skills as they start to come out. Well, there's a new one that just got released called Real Estate Jokes. I don't know, who's up for a good pun? Okay, Alexa, open Real Estate Jokes.
Are you ready for this knee slapper? What do you tell a prospective buyer if the lock doesn't work when you are trying to show a property? Let me call the agent. They might have an offer on the house already.
Sometimes I make these jokes just for myself. It's not that funny. So just a little bit about me. You might not have heard one of my programs before, but they're very high content, very practical, things you can implement right away. I started selling real estate back in 2004. And then what ended up happening is, I gave presentations to the local board, and people said, how much do you charge? I don't know, you could do that, make a living on it. So a big milestone was in 2013, earned the Certified Speaking Professional designation from the National Speakers Association. Just to give you perspective, there's less than 15 of us that have real estate experience. So I'm gonna give you kind of a gamut of not just ideas and big theory, but practical solutions you can implement in your business. And then, we're talking about voice technologies is the future. A couple years ago, I published a book, Screen-to-Screen Selling with McGraw-Hill. Anybody you do video or video conferencing with Skype or Zoom, out-of-town buyers, that's a really good resource for you at your fingertips. And then, I became an Amazon Alexa developer. So, why did I do that? What was the inspiration for that? I'll share with you that story. And then, this is my son, Harrison. Do you guys have any kids that are 3 or younger? Or maybe grandparents? Are you guys reproducing in the state of California? All right. But he's my love and joy. He's my inspiration. And in fact, he's helped me with Amazon Alexa, believe it or not. So when you look at learning and learning performance, the question now becomes is, how can you be as fast and as smart as a smart speaker? As I look at baby brain development, I started to get hooked on that when Harrison got born. I studied Glenn Doman, the Institute Advancement of Human Potential. And I was thinking, how can I start to think a little bit differently of how to not just read to my son, but give him this experience? So what he says now is Aleka, to be able to call it out. And I was thinking, okay, as far as reading goes, he goes through a vocabulary like dinosaur, gorilla, giraffe. What is a school bus? So now when he says, what is a school bus, a picture of a school bus comes up and then the Wikipedia definition appears. Isn't that cool? If you think that's cool, say cool. And so we start to think about how we can architect the conversation or train others to be able to really respond under our narrative. We have to think a little bit differently about this process. So raise your hand if you have a website. Okay, perfect. So it's not a point of differentiating anymore. Raise your hand if you have a mobile app, or your company provides a mobile app. Perfect. Well, raise your hand if your company has an Amazon Alexa skill. Amazon Alexa skill. So for the Amazon store, they have it's called a skill. You start to hear that more and more. You know, Google Assistant has their own, and Microsoft Cortana has their own. And which one do we want to prioritize and start with? Well, I'll give you some research, not just theory, as far as which one is the best. So here's, if you guys are taking notes, you have pen and paper, great. We're going to go through this really, really fast. I'm going to give you 5 takeaways that you'll be able to implement. And then also at the bottom of the screen, I don't know if you can read that, it says alexa.dougdevitre.com. If you had shared your email earlier, I'll be sure to send you those slides.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Oh, Alexa, you're so funny. So that's a quick way to get the slides. So first we're going to talk about why voice first. In fact, something I would write down or maybe put inside of your mobile phone is the concept called voice first. Or maybe the hashtag voice first. And then you can start to see what are folks publishing and putting it out there. And if you rewind back, 10 years ago when mobile apps was the next big thing, this is we're at the frontier. We're at the very start of this movement that is going to completely transform the way that we operate our lives, we operate our business. In fact, there's research by ComScore that says that by the year 2020, 50% of search will be done through voice. So no more tapping on a device, no more keystrokes, no more clicks. Now we're gonna look at how do we control the conversation or control our environment around us using the power of own voice. Next comes to smart home technology. Raise your hand if your home is smart home enabled. Like you have oh wow, quite a few. So you have switches or lighting or thermostats. And there's a lot of different options. And the question now becomes is, should you yourself have this technology, and should you be the one to recommend this for your customers, especially the tech-savvy customers that are out there? They're trying to think, well, can my realtor help me solve some of these issues that I don't understand myself? And I'll give you some practical ways on how to get around that. Third is, raise your hand if you make mistakes with technology. Okay, raise your hand. Be honest. Okay, half of you in this room are liars. I have trouble with it, right? Well, you want to say. That's the reason why you're here, right? So you're not making mistakes. So we're gonna shorten your learning curve with that. And then just as you look at brands are now starting to be on Amazon Alexa, and you can search the store. I think last time I checked, there's 30,000 skills. So there's 30,000 apps. There's 30,000 skills. They're just growing every day. And brands, and now real estate brands are starting to put their up as an extension of their digital footprint, right? It's an extension of their digital footprint in order to build a relationship with the customer, to improve the customer experience, to use it for lead generation. And why not be one of the first in your marketplace to really position yourself as an expert in this, because it's not going away anytime soon. And then where are my tech-savvy folks that maybe who do a little bit of programming on the side? One? Okay. And that's what I expected. Why? Because how do you make money? What are some of the activities you do to make money in real estate? Finding buyers, selling houses, thank you. The last thing you want to do as a realtor is be in front of your computer trying to figure this out all on yourself, right? I'm just being real with you. Can I get an amen? So let's look at the population of the U.S. versus how many smart speakers were sold. We look at what were the hottest retail days, in the last couple years. We've got, Christmas, we've got Cyber Monday, we've got Black Friday. Which one product was sold more than any others 2 years in a row? Amazon Echo Dot. Raise your hand if you have one. Wow. Okay, keep your hand up if you know how to use it. Okay, see how the hands go down? This is so like Facebook 10 years ago. I don't know if I want to be on it. People can see what I do. I don't have issues with privacy. I don't know. Am I going crazy? No, but people say I need to be there, so I'm going to be there. Wait, what am I doing? It's just growing. It's exponential adoption rate. And a good website, if you want some research, not just on Amazon Alexa, but some of the other voice platforms, a good website to go to is voicebot.ai. And that's where I go to get my research. Another good place to get research on this movement is Opus Research, just to put it out there. And then so the next question I typically get is, well, gosh, you talk about Amazon, what about Google, and what about Microsoft, and what about Siri? Those are all different voice platforms that really reside with the type of device that you have. When we look at the adoption rate, the smart speaker market, what is it? 71% Amazon versus the others? It's like, why? Well, here's just kind of like what I found through the discovery is people go to Google to search, they go to Amazon to buy. And so when we look at the adoption of the smart speaker market, well, it's no wonder they've sold so many of these things because Amazon's truly dominating the retail market. Absolutely remarkable. Well, let's think about smart home technology. I know quite of us already have it, or maybe somebody bought it for us. We're trying to figure out how to integrate it, or like where do we even start, right? So just from a case study, and I don't know, maybe I'd be interested in your feedback here. That builders are now, just like car manufacturers are putting Amazon Alexa in new cars. Now builders are putting the Amazon Alexa, or at least the ability to integrate with it very easily. With them. So anybody seen new construction now with Alexa integrated? Wow. I bet you have a lot of questions, right? Especially if you haven't played with it before. And so I'll just give you this tip, is start buying it for yourself, right? The relationship I was in, she would say, Doug, turn off the lights. So what did I do? I bought the Amazon-enabled lights. I think it's TP-Link is what it's called. So now I say, Alexa, turn off the lights, and it turns off the lights. Or, lock the front door. Well, now tell Alexa, lock the front door. So now that I have it integrated, it's a whole lot easier for me to explain it to others, and I can write reports on it and everything else or process because I've done it. I'm living it. And so if an agent recommends mortgage alternatives, electric safety tips, which appliance to buy, landscaping solutions, home decor ideas, should an agent recommend smart home solutions? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. So, where do you go to learn this stuff? There isn't a class, or, you can't get CE for this, or yet, right? So where do you go? And what I did is I just walked into a Best Buy. Do they have Best Buy here in California? Or something else? Maybe your favorite? Best Buy electronics store? Okay, perfect. Spend like 2 hours at Best Buy and talk to one person or two people about everything that they sell and try to figure out how it would integrate with you, because then you'll go to the marketplace with a whole new perspective on recommending homes, right? Even when I tried to install one of the light switches in my house, I couldn't do it because the electric needed to be rewired. It was an older house, and if I just couldn't put it in, it wouldn't work. Now that I know that, now I have another question to be able to add, and so, instead of saying, yeah, it'll work with everything, no, because the electric has to be put in place the right way first. So there's little things that you learn. So if you go to Amazon's page, you can see all of the different options. You can't read it up, but there's electric, there's the thermostat for heating, there's locks, there's security cameras, there's your home theater system, and a whole bunch more. So it's up to you to kind of do a little bit of initial discovery, especially if you haven't already. And then one of my favorite technology tools for my home is the Ring doorbell. Did anybody have this? It's so cool, right? So people can actually press a button, which is now your new doorbell. It's connected to the Wi-Fi, which now will ring my mobile phone. So if I'm out and about, traveling even, somebody rings the doorbell, I can now answer my front door and not necessarily be there. Well, one day when I was out of town, I came back home on a Sunday. It was right before Halloween. So, I decked out this was my apartment at the time, and I decked it out with pumpkins, inside of the big building, but right next to the front door inside the unit. So I had pumpkins, I had spider. I even had a little sign that says, we come here for the booze. Get it? Booze, like as in ghost booze? Okay, all right. I know, we just had lunch, didn't we? So yeah, it's like I go back, I see my spider violated on the floor. I was like, who did it? Well, Ring app actually showed who it was. You can see the guy picking up the pumpkin. And it's available integrated with Alexa. So you can say, Alexa, open Ring app, and it'll show who's at the front door on one of your video-enabled devices, and I'll show you what the examples of what those look like. So here's what the skill looks like. This is the Ring video doorbell skill, and then on the left-hand side, that orange button, that says enable. So it's like when, for let's say Apple or Android, you would download an app. For a skill, you would click on that button and then enable it. So now it's a part of your list of skills, if you will. So there's a lot of different security cameras that are out there, and here's just an example. Ring, Arlo, Nest, August, Logitech, there's a ton of them. All activated just by asking Alexa, what's going on at my house? Now here's a device that I think probably many of you already have. If you have one, it's called the Echo Dot. It's the size of a hockey puck. It's the one that's up on stage. And there's no video. There's nothing attached to it. And the cost of it's $50, which is relatively inexpensive. And this is a good starting point. Like if you just getting started, for me, for my son, I was playing nursery rhymes and I was playing songs and just ways to be able to gauge him. But then I realized, wow, there's actually a business case here. Another device, this is a newer one. It's called the Echo Spot, and it's smaller and it's video-based. In fact, the Amazon Alexa user experience team or UX team just won an award for its usability. It's about $130 and has video enabled inside, so you can make video calls, you can answer video calls, and you can do a whole bunch of things just like you would. This right here is the Echo Show, and I don't have it up on stage. I have it up in back. But it's almost like a little computer box, and it's video-based. So this is where it has the screen. You saw my son was playing with it, which was really cool. So not only does it speak to you, but it actually reads the words. And if the developer took the time to put in pictures, you'll have pictures as part of the user experience, and also you can add in video. So maybe we're even talking about, let's take the videos from the Real Estate Revive conference and let's put it on the Revive skill if we want to. We have that option. So what are some mistakes that you can make? There's obviously, the more you play with it, the more mistakes you're gonna make. That's the only way you learn. And even with video conference, when I started video conference, I made so many mistakes it was embarrassing. Does anybody want to learn how to video conference just a little bit better? Come on up. Come on up. I'm going to give you my book. It's so funny. This is the book. You have to probably walk around here. Everybody, round of applause for Diana. It's so funny with this thing. Like somebody commented, they picked it up, they held it. Like this is a real book. I was like, what? Like a real book. So here's my gift to you. But we're going to play a little game.
Sure.
Do you remember passing your real estate pre-license exam?
Oh, yeah, but it's a long time ago.
Okay, so we're going to have a little fun here. So come over here. So we programmed Alexa to help you pass your pre-license exam. So it's going to ask you some questions, and then you either say, one, two, 3, or 4 for the answers. Alexa, open Real Smarts.
Welcome to the best resource to help you pass your real estate pre-license exam. I will ask you 10 questions. Try to get as many right as you can. Just say the number of the answer. Let's begin. Question 1. If you encourage a homeowner to sell their property because persons of a protect class are moving into the neighborhood, this is called 1. Redlining. 2. Neighborhood watch. 3. Block busting. 4. Defamation of character. That answer is wrong. The correct answer is 3. Block busting. Your score is 0. Question 2. If a real estate company who also owns a title company and uses the funds for the title company to operate the real estate company, this is known as 1. Best practices. 2. A tax benefit. 3. Commingling. 4. Shuffling. That answer is correct. Your score is 1. Question 3. If there is pending litigation recorded at the courthouse which prevents the home from being sold, this is known as 1. Writ of attachment. 2. Sheriff restriction. 3. Clean title. 4. Lease pendants. That answer is correct.
Yeah.
Your score is 2.
Big round of applause for
Question 4.
Diana.
The inherent right or